30 seconds until minions spawn.
That's a main. That's not an Akali. No, Costco pizza is like surprisingly good. Like you would not expect Costco pizza to be good until you have it and you're like, oh shit, word? This is another platinum game. Again, sorry for the overlay struggles. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. I'm falling apart, man. We're just gonna do no more borders on these. We're just gonna put one big thing at the top. That's all we need. We don't need a little itty bitty borders. It's just extra gibberish. All right, so I pulled up your, or I tried to. Hold on a second. Oh, I can't pull this shit up right now. What are you facing? You're facing Jax? Well, right away I heavily disagree with your choice of items. I don't think Jax harasses us heavy enough to justify cloth 4. I would rather you go, if you're gonna do any of that, if you're gonna do any of the cloth armor stuff, I think it would be more in line to do like to versus champion with like heavy harass. Jax doesn't have it. So Dark Seal and refillable is the goal. Dark Seal and refillable is the goal. So you need emphasis. Need to have that pretty much on every matchup in Akali. Matchups that you don't do that, you can go Doran Shield most cases. At any lane that harasses the shit out of you, Doran Shield. Very rarely do I see Cloth 4 being standard. Yeah, only versus Pantheon. Yep. This is very unnecessary. Good play, good trade. Ouch. Focus the siege. I mean, you should know that. Siege gives more value, but you know, some people are there. That made no sense. Rushing your auto attacks on the creeps for no reason. We're just kind of chilling right now. It looks like Jax left. At this point, all you're really trying to do is just slow push, get a huge wave going. So that way, if a jungler comes up or whatever, you'll be able to survive that. You'll be able to 2v1 if need be, and a lot of minions. You need to get this wave under. I don't blame you for not trying to harass under tower, mainly because I'm scared of Lee Sin too if I'm in your shoes. Your jungler's bot side. There's no need to rush as Akali. It's more about getting through lane phase, I find. Looks like you push him out of lane. Yep, just reset. Gunblade is good. or revolver rather, is good. Building towards Gunblade. You get his ult. Why did we just do that, though? Why did you just do that play? So you jump in. You juke the stun. You go back in. Why do you shove? This is crap by you. There's no need to shove. There's no urgency in this game. Your Xin Zhao's 2-0, your bot lane's, you know, even-ish. You just pushed Jax out and got his ult. So don't shove to the tower because you're not planning on diving the tower very often. And if you do, that's how you set yourself up to die. Your bot lane comes up though, which is actually, that changes my thoughts a little bit. Yeah, I don't blame you for getting all that farm then, with them coming up, if you wanted to rotate to bottom. This TP, the only real reason it's bad no, I don't mind this. I don't mind this. I'm not complaining about that. I think it's okay. I mean, you're gonna want to TP down there anyways. You don't want to give Vayne a free lane at that point, but you do need to keep going ham on the bot wave. Yes. I mean, right now I like how you're playing. It's all very controlled. There haven't been many opportunities to get any kills from what I can see. I don't really want to be challenging Jax right now with my bot lane top side. Kind of chilling. You pressure Xerath. Xin Zhao doesn't need your help here. This is just a waste. You could be doing anything other than this. What I see right now is I would be looking top. I would get away from this, let Xin Zhao do it, start rotating to mid, and start rotating up to top. This tower is gonna, this top side shit is going to determine what happens for the rest of the game. Your Yasuo is probably going to rotate up there. You're wasting time on this. Instead, you should be predicting that there's going to be a big 4-man collapse top, because if they're not contesting Dragon, they're going top. Okay, that's normally how this goes. They're going to go and try to collapse on your bot lane. If they do that, at least you can be shoving mid or doing something on mid with the intent of rotating back to bottom if you need to. Okay? But sitting on Dragon is a mistake. There's no need for you to be there with Xin Zhao can handle this. You're just losing pressure. So the 4-man's gonna come top. We know that's happening. And it's probably gonna go shitty because this game is a loss, so something bad's gonna happen up here. Now next time, you would have had this already shoving, and then you could extend your lead that much further. Meanwhile, you let bot push towards this tower, and then you can go and collect bot. You obviously can't fix what's going to happen in terms of your bot lane dying, but you could have at least seen, like, oh, they're top, so that means there's going to be people rotating up there. So this is a part of the game. I'm not just saying all this stuff so that you just kind of, like, eye roll and like glaze over it, like, oh, this is so boring. I just want to learn about laning and yada yada. Basically, after bot lane swaps with you, you have to understand what the fuck is happening in the game. Enemy bot lane is gonna rotate a lot to top. If Jax is down here with you, that means that there's gonna be 4-man's top often. So it's on you to understand how those rotations work and to try to play around those and to be as efficient as possible. So if you have teleport when that happens, because, you know, remember we TP'd the bottom, you might be able to argue like, well, maybe if I kept my TP and then didn't, because you TP bot for about 6 minions total, which I'm like, I don't know if that's good or bad. Like, maybe if you kill Vayne sometimes as Akali, I don't exactly know Akali's kill pressure on like a teleport flank. It's normally pretty high. So I don't blame you looking for it, but I just want to point out that if you don't TP there and you walk down and you start pushing and then you're anticipating this fight up top, then you could TP to it and you could outright end the game. So if we don't waste the TP here, we could always use it up top and basically just shut the entire throw down before it happened. And it's just something to think about, because basically what we wound up doing is just idle at Dragon with Xin Zhao and not really get anything done. Yeah, it's shit like this that you have to understand. Like, the key thing with being bot lane in the mid game, the mid to late game, is the teleport. The teleport is used to protect your lead, essentially. So, like, you're able to obviously push in towards bottom. We know that. Because no one can 1v1 us, right? The thing is, as we're keeping that pressure, we can deny any sort of counter pressure with our teleport. Freebie on the Vayne. Alright, so let's talk about this attempt that you make. This is good. This is bad. Hitting the tower a couple times is fine, but diving in here is bad. The main reason is we know Jax should be in transition to mid, which should scare you a little bit, and because we only see Zillion up here, you have to know that Lee Sin's going to be around a lot too. Now, what I would prefer, you get that kill, and then you smack the tower a couple times with the intent of running to bottom and catching the wave. Because you should not be dying for free in spots where you just made a pick. That just throws what you just built for yourself. So Jack's gonna run down to bottom, he's gonna force your TP. You wouldn't have to use that if we just took the Vayne kill and then collected the wave organically. You're trying to string together too much with that dive. Same thing here. This is just... We don't need to do this. We don't need to make this play. This is just... You're taking a lot of unnecessary risks that you don't need to do. You don't need to make. You don't need to do that. No one's holding mid, so why are we fighting? Wait until you see people before you challenge. You have to count heads before you go in. This is just a free tower, and you're letting them get a trade for it. Why not just sit back and chill? Alright, so let's see. Lots of mid-game errors this time around. And that's okay, it happens. So here, all is well. Once the Zillion ult goes down, your play should be to go here and reset. There's no... You don't need to make a crazy play now. You got Zillion's flash, got Vayne ult, got Zillion ult, you're good. Back up, take a breather, relax. Because they can't do anything now. A lot of this game, to your credit, a lot of this game has to do with Xin Zhao's not really like turning up the heat. But even still, playing passive or not, it's your responsibility to play around the action that's on the map. Like, you don't have to... A lot of these plays, and I guess this is kind of the crux of Akali, a lot of these plays for you, you're making them all seem like they must be commitments, and they don't have to be. Here they didn't have to be, here they didn't have to be, here they don't have to be. R to the minion, get the fuck out. Because even if you get the Vayne kill, when he revives, you're dead anyways.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
I like the pressure.
Red team has slain the dragon.
This was good. Wait until you see bodies. Back down. You do.
Rampage. Been destroyed.
Was there any flank opportunity?
Unstoppable.
Or was it over before it began? Oh, it was over before it began. Yeah, Xin Zhao hasn't had much impact this game for such a big lead. Grab the wave. They get inhib. They get Baron, and this game is on its head now. I don't know. It's I think that this game in many ways is just on our decision making in the mid game, which you accurately pointed out that like this is something you need work on. A lot of you make some good plays, like some good challenges, but a lot of the time you're not aware of where people are. You need to make that, you need to layer up one step farther, and you need to start thinking about the entire map, the big picture. What happens when we swap lanes? Who is where and why? What is likely to happen? Am I wasting time, on objectives? Am I doing something that's unnecessarily risky? Like, you have to remove risks when you're in control. Like, there was no rush in this game at all. And there was just back to back to back silly plays that amounted to you throwing, in my opinion, what was a pretty easy game, assuming that you just slow push the map in and make good decisions and smart rotations. Like diving mid was silly, diving bot was silly, fighting the top was fine until you didn't disengage it. Like you've got to learn the macro aspect of, okay, this game, like, I'm in control of this game, because you're climbing higher, like you're climbing towards diamond. Like that's gonna be the next step, is there's back and forth, ebb and flow. If we're trying to challenge somebody and the support shows up and peels, then we just calmly disengage and try again later. That's what, that's what poking is, or disengaging is. In this case, obviously, Vayne gets, like, absolutely monstrously fed after the first tower falls. Slays, thank you so much, dude. 30 months. Appreciate it. Thank you. I think that Vayne gets monstrously fed after the rotation, and there's not much you can do about that. But you could have definitely controlled some of the leaky defs and the leaky rotations. Also, the teleport we talked about. Consider that once you rotate to bottom, if you're rotating to bottom and you use that teleport, it's going to gimp your ability to deal with the inevitable 4-man top or 3-man top or whatever's going to come when the roles swap, like when bot lane goes to top. So that's what I would think about. Your build, I already told you I don't really agree with the start, but the itemization after that was fine. I think you played the lane fine, really. I didn't see any like glaring issues with the lane phase. It was mostly the mid game that got you in trouble. If you clean that up, it's very similar to like when I would play. It looks very much like when I would play TF or Kassadin in the mid game. And I mean I still make the mistakes now, and I've been studying up on the Dopa gameplays a lot. It's the same type of like, when you look back, you're like, why wouldn't I challenge there? It's like, oh, I wouldn't challenge there because other towers are falling, so there's no need to challenge there. Or, why am I down here? It's like, I'm down here with teleport so that if the top lane fight breaks out, the bot lane's pushed in and I can teleport and then swing back down to bottom. All those little things are more of macro practices that you only really see once you're crushing lane. So I guess it's a good problem to have, because you're in a position where you are throwing leads off of mid game. So now you've just got to start to get a better handle on controlling those leads, and I think you'll be fine. Cool. YouTube, what up? It's NEACE, coaching the Platinum Akali replay. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, etc. if you want to see more. Thank you very much. Love ya. I'll see you next time, and I'm out. Peace. Cracks. Thank you.